Good morning and welcome to A Dose of Sunshine. I'm Sami Vecchiolla, your host and favorite local realtor. I'm here to provide you with a dose of positivity and introduce you to one of my friends who has positively impacted my life. Our guest today is Theresa Cifali, who is the owner of Daily Achievers and the co-host of the Messy Desk podcast. She helps her clients ultimately help themselves by identifying what they want, plan to have it, and make progress towards it every day. Theresa is one of my really close friends, and I love her so much, and I'm excited to introduce you to her. So come on in, Theresa.
Hey!
Good morning. How are you?
Sweet. I love right back.
You're one of my favorites. You know that.
Right back at you.
So tell our audience a little bit about yourself. What do you do? How do you help people? What makes you magical?
I'm a productivity strategist and coach. I work with primarily service-based small business owners or solopreneurs who are feeling really just overwhelmed and like they're so stuck in the mire of doing delivering client work that they're not really focused on their own business. So I help them grow by helping them think about what they want, plan how to get it, and then the actions they can take every day to just do it.
And you're really good at it because I had the pleasure of taking part in one of your programs, and you really do a wonderful job of making it bite-sized chunks, like everything that you have to do, like, okay, so what does that entail? And what does that entail? And you're just really good at creating that for your clients. So thank you.
Making it smaller is really important. I'm very much about process, which people don't like to talk about because sometimes
I love
process, it sounds like work. But if I teach you a process, then I enable my clients and customers to then make something their own, and then they don't need me anymore, which is ultimately what I want. I want people to work with me, learn the processes and create the processes and systems that work for them, and then move on knowing that they can do it themselves and they feel confident doing it.
I love that. What inspires you most?
Okay, I've been thinking about this, and I think what inspires most are people. I really like to keep things positive, as you know. I am the one that will see the little ray of sunshine coming through the clouds. And it's one of the things I like about myself. And so I look for that in people intentionally. And when random acts of kindness, people that are also positive and loving and receptive and open and can listen, like those are the people that just inspire me when I'm, having one of those days where I'm not feeling best. Maybe it's happened. We've all been overly stressed and maxed out to our limits with what's going on with COVID. I'm just looking for, that's when I think about somebody who inspires me. And oftentimes it's somebody that I can then reach out to, get a little juice from them. And I love that.
I love that too. That's definitely what I do as well. So I must have gotten that process from you because it is so good to surround yourself with positive and energetic people. Because even when you're feeling like the slightest bit confused or down, you can always count on others who are similar to bring you back. So I love that.
That's right. And not just people who are going to tell you what you want to hear, but also the things that you need to hear. So
yeah.
Why you're one of those people for me. So
you're one of those people for me too.
I love it.
I know. So do you have any special quotes that you live by or that inspire you?
Well, yes. One of my very favorite, there's lots because I just love quotes. So I have them like everywhere. They're peppered throughout my journal. I have them on the wall, or sometimes I see something and I write it on a Post-it and stick it on my computer screen. But one of my favorites of all times is a Dr. Seuss quote, and it's say who you are, be who you say what you feel. Those who mind matter, and those who matter don't mind. And oftentimes we get stuck in the comparison gap, especially as business owners, right? We see, how is that person doing all these things? And you're comparing your beginning to somebody else's middle, even if it's not really your beginning, just means that not comparing where you are, to somebody who's further along than you are, and feeling jealous about it. I just think it's about being who you are, not comparing, and knowing that the right people who are meant to be around you will be there. And then that creates an atmosphere where you can just be who you are, say what you're thinking, not feel like you have to constantly edit yourself, which is exhausting. I'm like, am I allowed to talk about this in front of this person or that person? We all have different thoughts and different views based on our life experience. And, just being open and having safe spaces is really important, especially now.
I do love that. I love that you are definitely one of the safe spaces I have to talk about anything. And I love that quote. That is really inspiring. So, what are you up to? Because I know you're up to a lot, and I want everyone to hear every piece of it because you have so much going on. So, tell us a little bit about what's going on with you.
Sure. Well, I'm in the middle of a rebrand. So before, my personal brand was Theresa Cifali, still is, and I've now rebranded as Daily Achievers. That's my new company name. That's really exciting. I've been going through new colors, new logos, fonts, all the fun stuff, and I'm building the next phase of my business, which is moving more towards, digital products and things of that nature. Sami's been through one of my products that I'll be launching in the spring, and I'm just building the back end so that I have everything set up to offer that. The other thing I have going on that's really exciting is on the 18th of November, I'm doing a webinar on 5 ways to, I don't remember the exact title. I should have written it down. But basically, we'll probably tweak it anyway. But the webinar is all about blogging, like the 5 things that you need to do to generate more leads from your blog. Whether you're thinking about starting a blog, or you just started a blog, or you've been blogging for a little bit of time and you don't feel like you've been getting everything out of it that you want. So I like helping people and offering information. I'm actually doing that in tandem, like jointly with my podcast co-host. And that's the other thing. When lockdown came in March, and a lot of the things that I was currently doing at that time in my business just kind of came to a halt, I took a look at my yearly plan, and I'm like, okay, I wanted to start a podcast later in the year. So Megan and I decided to do that earlier. So, I talk about productivity. Megan talks about marketing, particularly content marketing. And we just recorded a few episodes yesterday. We have 33 episodes, I think, live right now. So it's been going really well, and it's a lot of fun, and I enjoy it. So having done it for a while, we love it. We're going to continue to do it. Please go and listen. You can listen at messydeskpodcast.com or anywhere that you like to listen to your podcast. It's up on all the usual suspect sites there.
I love the Messy Desk podcast. It's such a great refresher on some of the things that I already know from you, really. And when I hear it, I'm like, oh, yeah. And I just have to say, that Daily Achievers Academy that you created, one of the products that you had talked about, it really came at the perfect time for me because, like you said, you looked at what you're planning to do for the year and you switched it up to protect yourself from the great extraordinary pause that we had. And I was able to do the same. And I attribute all of my success to you because honestly, without that plan, without that structure, I don't know. I mean, obviously I would figure it out, but it was so much easier to figure it out with the plan that I created with you. So I owe you a ton of everything. You know that.
Thank you. I'm really grateful, and I'm glad to hear that, because the most important thing, it doesn't matter what I put out there. It's what matters is that you took action, and that's really what it comes down to. It's like I've done it, and I know people listening have done it, where they bought an online course or something, and then they started or they never opened it at all. So or they look at it and then they don't do the homework for it. It feels like work. Again, it's about like having processes. You know,
I'm
teaching people.
definitely an action taker, so.
Oh, you are for sure. You know, I love hearing that, and that's why you were able to maneuver through the pandemic in the way that you have.
Yeah.
You know, fix in motion, stay in motion.
I also think Dose of Sunshine is attributed to you as well, because I had this idea and I never thought I could put it together. And one day I was just like, why not now?
I love that. Why not now is exactly right. There's never going to be a moment where things are perfect. And for everybody who's waiting until things are perfect to move forward on something, don't wait. Just do it. Like we like to say with the podcast, you know, do it messy. And that's what we did. We started not knowing, you know, we took guesses in the beginning. You know, who's our listener? What are they struggling with? How can we help? And then it's just a matter of taking action, looking at data, and then tweaking your message, your content, and just getting out there and doing it is really what gives you the clarity. It's the action that gives you the clarity.
I think that that's so great. Well, how can people connect with you if they're looking to reach out?
Well, you can reach me at theresacifali.com. There's a contact form on my website. There's tons of ways to connect with me. You can also connect through the podcast. So if you go to messy-podcast.com, you can connect with me there as well. And, you know, I'm not a huge social media person per se. So I like to take strategic action. You can reach me on LinkedIn. I'm available there. And those are really the three main places where you can have a point of connection with me. I
love that. Well, thank you again for coming on to Dose of Sunshine. You are my personal ray of sunshine at least twice a week. So I appreciate the time that I do get to spend with you. And I hope everyone got something out of this. And thank you again for joining me today.
Thanks so much for having me, Sam. This was a lot of fun. And I hope everybody has a wonderful, amazing, fun weekend. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous, 70 and sunny. So do something.
Wow, I didn't even know that. That's fabulous. Have a wonderful rest of your week, everyone.